Okay, I'm going to call this meeting of the Recreation Advisory Commission for the City of Hardeeville to order. If you'll stand for the invocation and pledge. Father, thank you for bringing all of us here together to do your work. Be with us and guide us as we go through the night and try to make decisions and vote on issues that are related to the recreation for the city. We thank you for all that you've done for Hardeeville and for sparing us the hurricane. We know a lot of our different states and the Bahamas haven't been so lucky, and we ask that you wrap your arms around them and help them heal as quickly as possible. Be with us again as we make these decisions that are for the citizens of this city. In your most precious name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'm going to ask now if there's any, if we have a motion for approval or disapproval of any changes for the agenda tonight. Anybody want to make any changes? No? Well then, if that's the case, can I get a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion for approval.
I second it. Okay, motion is second. All those in favor, raise your hand. Okay, unanimous. Move down to public comments. Do we have any public comments tonight?
Madam Chair, there are no comments.
Okay, so we'll move down to public presentations, and I'll turn that over to Jennifer.
Yes, ma'am. We do have one presentation. Mr. Tyler, if you'll come up to the podium. As you all know, we did have our summer interns. They've all left. 2 graduated and 1 returned back to LSU, and so now we've moved on to fall. So we have Tyler that is here. He is another Georgia Southern alum, so I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about himself and let him take the wheel.
All right. Hey everybody, like she said, my name is Tyler Cocker. I just graduated from Georgia Southern after doing an internship at a summer camp in North Carolina over the summer. I got a degree in outdoor recreation and tourism, and I'm looking forward to working with everybody and just learning as much as I can from y'all.
Thank you.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
We'll put you to work pretty quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we did. he was supposed to start last week, but Dorian had other plans, so he started today. Took off and running very quickly.
Well,
so.
hopefully that's our only hurricane interruption.
Let's hope so. Anyone have any questions for Tyler? No? Thank you, Tyler.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move down to old business. Is there any, Jennifer, is there any old business for us to discuss?
Yes. Wanted to give you an update. The sponsorship policy that we had and you all approved, council did approve that. So we now have a policy in place just for sponsorships and donations. I am still working on doing the naming rights policy separate, but wanted to give you an update, let you know that council did approve it. So it is now adopted policy for the city.
Good.
The other one is the Richard Gray Recreation Complex. Each of you, I did print it out. Each of you got it via email, but I wanted for you guys to print it or to have it printed out. That was presented to council last council meeting through a workshop, and we didn't get a whole bunch of information back other than, you know, sticker shock, of course. But I want to make sure everyone understands that, you know, it's not a whole product that we're going to start tomorrow. It is, you know, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, so it's just tackling piece by piece. So not to look at the, you know, the prices and stuff. There's a lot of stuff in there that we can find grant funding and whatnot have it. So if you will, review over your draft. Take a quick minute if you'd like. Each of you have the packet. It's all the way to it's the bottom part. It looks, it should say draft, just like this. if you wanna go over it, check anything. I know at the last, commission meeting, I think Kevin wanted us to add the maintenance, portion of it, and we did. Wallace added that, and we did present, that information to council at the workshop. If everything meets your approval, again, this is sort of like how we did the policy, is even though you've already approved this one, now it's coming back, it's a little bit different, so we need you to approve this. Once everyone approves it, then I will go back to council and we're gonna try and have it adopted through a resolution. Once that happens, it becomes a final plan that we keep and we're able to utilize from here on out, the next 15, 20 years or less. So, like I said, take a few minutes. If there's anything you want to add or any questions that you might have, feel free to let me know.
So other than the maintenance plan, was anything else really added or changed, anything major?
No, there was no major changes except for that. The only thing that council had some concerns about was the community garden. And again, I also want to reiterate that in this plan, it doesn't mean it has to come to fruition. The master plan is just, it's basically dream big, and this is what we want for our city. We want our city to have a gateway park, we want it to have a certain presence, we want it to look a certain way. Do we want to have a dog park? Do we want to have this and that? So we've put all of this information into the master plan, and this is through all of the stakeholders, community input, all of the surveys that were completed, and then this is the end result product. It does not mean that if, the majority of the commission doesn't want to have a community garden or a butterfly garden, that might just get pushed back, or there might be something else that we put in its place. But this is a guide that we're gonna use, so it doesn't mean that it has to be done.
What were their concerns?
I honestly, I would probably have to go back and look. I think the mayor just said it was, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think it had something to do with the space, just not really good use of space. I know Bluffton just did one, and they're trying to do it, I think, by the Oyster Park, I think. So it is something that's big, and they do a lot of it in urban areas.
Charleston has several, and they're wonderful, and it really doesn't take up a whole lot of space.
Right, and that's what it does show in here too. But again, that's just where those priorities are for each one of the projects that are in here. So, if we bring it up and say we would like to do the gateway first, and then everyone agrees, then that might be the first part of the plan that we do. Or if, it's gonna be fencing, or, the maintenance plan, all different kinds of things that you can choose. We just have to decide what our priority levels are. But I think that was it. And then I think everyone enjoyed the trail. And then I think Ms. Castle had a concern. There was a little bit of a slip in verbiage. The trailhead, there is not a trailhead at Epps Avenue. A trailhead is usually where a trail starts. That is not the case. There is a, I don't know if you want to call it a rest station or a respite area, where we might have bathrooms or something right there, but there is no entrance from Epps into our park. There is a gate that is there now, and has been there for years and years, at least since the park was adopted and began a long time ago, 2004, I think, 6, something like that. And we reassured her, but that was the only other issue, because I know there was a concerned citizen that wanted to make sure that, people weren't parking there and trying to access, and right now, you don't even know there's a fence there. If you go out there today, you wouldn't know it's there. We know it's there, but yeah, that's not what it was, and that was the only other concern.
All right, so you need us to approve this master plan.
Yes, ma'am.
But with the preface that a timeline or time frame will be worked out as to what goes first at a later date.
Yes, ma'am. That's something that will work out once, if city council approves it, then during the budget process, what we'll do is we'll go through and we'll figure out, like right now, we've got Juju Hudson, we also have the playground equipment's coming in. If we want to add the next piece of that puzzle, that's where all this comes in together, and then we can say we want this, or this. But as a group, collectively, we would do that, take that back to council, and then council would approve. And it's also based on what their priorities are as well.
Where in this whole document is the revision for the maintenance program?
It should be in the very back.
Last.
I'm not sure what page.
40 and
37, 38. Yeah, it's on page 38. Yeah.
And if, I guess, just to clarify, are we involved in setting the priorities for which things get done, or is that something with the council?
You have some, and then what I do is take your priorities back to council, but ultimately, council is one that decides. What the commission and your job is to do is to try and set precedents of where you see what it is, and then we would take that information to council, and then council would figure out if we have enough money for A, B, or C, and then go from there. Any other questions?
Okay, can I get a motion for approval or disapproval of the master plan?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Need a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. That's unanimous. Okay, so it'll go to council next, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I believe it's gonna be on the 19th, so if anyone wants to come to that meeting, I'll probably send another email out just to say, hey, if you're around, to show support. That's where we would like for you all to be present, so that if they do have questions, then they can, say, we as a commission, approve.
Because they've already had it in workshop.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we move down to presentation and approval of minutes from the August 12th, 2019 meeting. Is there any discussion about the minutes that Jennifer sent? Okay, if not, can I get a motion for approval or disapproval of minutes?
I move to approve it.
Second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. Unanimous again. Move down to new business. Jennifer, if you will take us through the new business of the night.
Yes, ma'am. Wanted to give you all an update. Due to the hurricane, we weren't able to pull everything together, but we will have, I'll either contact Mr. Parsons to see if he might want to come and do a quick little presentation for you, or we'll just put some maps up for you. But the South Carolina Recreation Trails Program grant, we did do a letter of intent that went out last week. It was due today. And that's, we're trying to garner about $100,000 for a $350,000 project. And that's the connection trail from the Richard Gray Complex that will go to the new rec center. It's also, I think, in partnership, let me see, I got a whole list. It's also gonna be working in conjunction with a South Carolina DOT TAP grant that the city is also working for, or working towards. I'm not sure if they've gotten that, so I won't speak out of turn. And that's the Transportation Alternative Program, so if we can get that all working together, that'd be a great bonus for us.
Are you getting any help with the writing of the grant, or?
No, I'm not, no, Mr. Parsons does all of our grants.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, he does that. He's the one that did it. What I do is just provide him some background information on what the numbers are, where we need to go, and then he does everything else. He is the city's, grant writer. Cool.
This would go through the school's property and then cross the road to the rec center.
No, and I apologize for not having a map. Trying to think, if you pull out your master plan, and there's a concept park plan in it, it's, on my page, it's probably gonna be wrong. Yeah. Let's see. 18. Yeah, there you go. She's on page 18. Okay, if you look at that concept plan, and it doesn't show at all at the very top, where you see the red lines where it says concept park plan, that's 17. This trail will go where J is. It's gonna follow part of the line where, if you look where Epps Avenue is, there's a trail that runs right by the soccer field, and then there's a triangle with a little bit of a pond. It's gonna go all the way up, through up to McTier, and then McTier all the way through, and I can't remember the name of the road. It's like one road over from Smith.
So So that's like phase one of the trail, because that's where it
Yes.
starts.
Yes,
So that's not S on that J?
a gas line.
No, it's like S says it is the pedestrian connection to the rest.
Yeah, this is something different. This is part, I'm sorry, this is part of our, this is part of the Trails program. So, 2017, I think it was Alta, did a Trails pedestrian master plan. So that's where this is coming into place. We're just adding the two of them together. You just don't see it on here. So what I'll do at the next meeting, or I'll send it to you maybe tomorrow so you guys can see it for reference. And again, I'll see if Mr. Parsons can come in and give you an update. But basically, it's a quick connection, and it also ties into the TAP grant with South Carolina DOT on that other section. So it's an easier way, because we already have easements in place along those roads versus trying to gain easement and access that's gonna cost a lot more money for us to get from where the backside of the complex is. All, as you see it here, all the way up and through the wetlands and then to the backside of Royal Live Oaks Academy. This will actually take it down roads and sidewalks, aside from what's in the complex, so. And again, I apologize for not having that.
But it's nothing that's not in the master plan, so.
No, it's in the Alta Trails pedestrian plan, and it's just not shown here in the master plan for the Richard Gray complex.
Any other questions?
Okay. And then, the other new business, we're ready for everyone to go, woo-hoo. All right, so last meeting, I told everyone that it was coming, it was happening, and no one believed me. But we do have our site clearing permit in hand. And that is for the new rec center. So hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, you'll start to see some stakes put up and some trees going down and clearing the way for the new rec center. We have been very vigilant on Facebook, Instagram, the city sharing all of our stuff as well, trying to get the information out. We've put the 3D rendering up on our Facebook page if you haven't visited it. We do ask that you go and like it and check it out. And we try and keep up with all of the comments. There's a lot, so a lot of people are very excited about it. I think the biggest negative that we have is that everyone wants a pool. So we explained that the YMCA is building a pool in our area. Yes, they are building one in our area. But I did want to give you that update, so it really is happening. So now we can prove that it's happening, and we do have the site clearing permit. So that's pretty big deal on an $8.5 million facility for the city. So I think the residents that are out there watching, it's coming. We're very excited about it. But that's it for new business for me.
Okay. I guess they'll have a big ceremony.
Yes, ma'am, it's coming. We have it scheduled. It's October the 15th. I just don't have the timing and all that stuff yet. And all of you all, of course, will be invited. And I think we're gonna have some, either ladder doors or lunch. We just are working out the finite pieces right now.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, the Vukolet family will be there as well. They're the ones that donated
The property.
the property that it sits on.
Okay. Any questions? All right, we'll move down to the director's report.
Okay, lots of upcoming events, lots of programs. I think I've already shared this all with you, and we've been trying to put it out again socially and to all of our partners. We have one of the first flyers that was given to us. We are working with Jasper County Chamber of Commerce. They are handling all of our advertising piece for the festival on May. So this is one of the first flyers that has come out. Our t-shirt design is actually on here. If you look at the MASH sign that has Hardeeville, Bluffton, Ridgeland, and then the train, little alligator and all that, that is actually what's going to be on our t-shirts. So we've put that up on social media. Everyone's really excited about them. So we will have those for sale at the event as well. So you can look over all of that. We are also getting some glossies that we'll put out in different businesses. We have rack cards that we're going to put out in visitor centers. So we've got all kinds of stuff that we're doing for advertising. We're right behind that one. I think you should have the trunk or treat. If you have not signed up, hopefully you will participate with that. I know Ms. co-chair, Ms. Talbot and her husband, will be doing that. They do that every year, so, basically, we're looking for trunks. You decorate your trunk however you'd like, any kind of fun theme for the kids. And, you pass out candy. It's a safer way than going door to door. And I think last year we had about 400 to 500 people. I think we had about 35, 40 trunks. We're hoping for about 50 this year, so, anybody that wants to participate, please let us know. And then, last but not least, I'm gonna move on to the newsletter. This newsletter was done by our former intern. This one was done by, Sean Monday. So, and you can always tell there's different, I think, Shelby got 2 of them. She did, I think she did July and August. So he got to do September's before he left. Screen on the Green, we just had one, and we had a pretty good turnout, so it's slowly but surely starting to, build back up, and we hope that continues. We were watching How to Train Your Dragon. That was last Friday, not this past Friday, but the Friday before that, right before the hurricane was coming in. But had probably about 40 people out there, and we have vendors that are out there as well, so that was a lot of fun. Next one is going to be Bumblebee, and the time is actually supposed to be 7 o'clock, but we couldn't edit because he had already left and didn't leave us the editable form, so anyway, it's not a big deal. Soccer games are starting this month. We've got 2 teams. Again, as I mentioned last time, we are down by 2, and that's throughout the county as well. We're gonna have to figure out something to get our kids involved. We have tons of kids and they're just not registering, so we really gotta step it up and see what's going on.
What age groups do you have teams for?
We have kids, I think it's ages 4 all the way up through 13, 14. And then, of course, basketball's coming up. We're gonna be registering. My bad. I didn't touch anything.
I don't know what that was, but
Got our attention, didn't it?
yeah.
Sorry, I just don't feel well. Yeah, so anyway, basketball's coming up as well, and I think that is ages 5 all the way through 14, I think. Which is just, it's crazy. Where I came from, we had so many kids. Basketball was huge, and every municipality and every community is different. Some folks might be more into soccer versus baseball, or baseball versus something else. So, the National Night Out and Community Day is coming up, and it's fire and PD work together. I think it's also part of National Fire Safety Week. So it's basically a good, community fun event. We're just advertising for them. Parks and Rec has nothing to do with it other than being support staff. So that's coming up. We hope we'll see all of you there, October 8th. It's free.
Busy October and November.
Yes, ma'am. I've got a lot of gray hair. Also, too, to let you know, we are partnering with the LUDC 43 campaign. Some of you might have seen that on my Facebook page. That we are taking a pledge and making sure that distracted driving is first and foremost at everything that we do before we get into a car. That we make sure we know what those 43 key seconds are, and taking the pledge, making sure you've got a clear head, clear hands, clear eyes, click it, and then turn your key. So we'll have that out at the National Night Out, and hoping that people will get a pledge. If you take the pledge, we'll have the key cards there that we'll give people to keep in your car. So very proud to partner with them. Festival on Main, whew, y'all. We are busy with Festival on Main. We tried to do subcommittees. I think we talked about it briefly at the last one, and we just didn't have a lot of participation. I think Ms. Talbot was the only one, and Kevin was on logistics. So we are going to have a logistics meeting coming up. Entertainment, we probably won't, but I will invite Ms. Talbot to our meeting. And if there's anyone else that wants to go, just let me know. We've got so much going on. It's crazy. But yeah, we've got all the entertainment done. We've got the new t-shirt design that's been done and approved. We're anxiously awaiting the police and fire game. That is a fundraiser for JDRF, which is helping type 1 diabetics. So yeah, we're also gonna have fireworks. That was just approved a couple weeks ago, so that's something new. We had a new sponsor come in, so that's awesome. And we've got courses for the medallions, Muddy Creek, and then we'll also have Pachanga. And then Friday night, we're gonna have Daryl will be out there as well. So we've got lots of different diverse musicians that are coming out, so we're really excited for it. It's gonna be a very long weekend. The dog park, we're still on hold with that, not to worry. We're gonna get that resolved soon. The basketball court cover and resurfacing, we've finally gotten all of our information back. However, the timing on that is gonna have to wait because they're gonna need an extra couple of weeks. That falls right into the middle of our festival. So we have to push that back to November 3rd, 4th, whatever that Monday is after. So we're really excited about that. And then again, trunk or treat, I've already mentioned that. We're always looking for volunteers. Always come out, fill out an application to help, because the more the merrier. So, but other than that, like I said, we're just really, really busy, super slammed. Brittany and I are doing the best to keep up with all the different requests that we have. So that is all I have, Madam Chair.
It's not gonna be a problem to have October 31st right before November 1st with setup. I mean,
Yeah, ma'am, we're PRT, we'll get it done.
okay, I'm just,
Yep.
I know there's a lot of prep that goes into
Yep.
that.
Yes, ma'am, we've already got a plan in place, we've got everything,
Right,
so,
well,
yep, we got it. We're just gonna be very tired, but
yeah, 3 days in a row, really.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, anybody have anything for the good of the order? Anything they wanna say or ask or? No?
Kevin?
I guess the only question I have is, will we be getting updates on the report that was done by the summer interns about the conditions that were found out in the complex?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we can do that. I think Mr. Parsons is working on that. That was turned over to him for risk management, but I will follow up with him and see where we are. And we might put our new intern to work with doing a priority list attached to that.
Yours just picked up.
Wait, what am I doing? But yeah,
Looks
we,
like he's up to the task, so.
yes, but yeah, we can definitely do that.
Anything else?
Terry?
Can I,
No,
Okay, I'm
I'm
surprised.
absorbing, I'm sponging tonight.
okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn then?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'll second.
All right, I don't even think we need to vote on that, but we're done.
All right, you there.
That was good, that was quick.